Welcome to the channel. Today we continue our journey into the mystery of sabotage on the Nord Stream gas pipeline. In this second part, we will dive deep into the technical side of explosions, while we won't be focusing on the motives behind the attack or hunting down the criminals. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear idea of the power of the explosions, the methods that may have been used, their exact location, and the specific damage caused. Let's unravel the facts together. On September 26, 2022, in the Baltic Sea, near the Danish island of Bornholm, two terrorist attacks took place, during which explosive materials were used to destroy the underwater infrastructure of the Nord Stream 1 and 2 gas pipelines. Data from the Danish National Seismic Network recorded earthquakes with magnitudes of 2.3 and 2.1 on the Richter scale. Both events generated high-energy seismic waves, indicating an explosion rather than an earthquake. The Richter scale, introduced by Charles Richter of Caltech in 1935, has long been used to measure earthquake magnitude. While it's still in use today, it's not always the most convenient tool. To better represent the power of seismic waves, scientists often compare the energy released to the equivalent of an explosion measured in kilotons. In 2006, H.A. Kelly from the University of California, Los Angeles, introduced the Kelly Kiloton Index, KKI. This index provides a more realistic measure of the energy released during an earthquake, using the kiloton, equal to 1,000 metric tons or 2,200,000 pounds, as its base unit. Below is a table showing how the KKI relates to the Richter scale. Let's pay attention to the value of the KKI index in the range from 2 to 2.5 magnitudes on the Richter scale. According to this table, to generate a seismic wave between 2 and 2.5 magnitudes, the energy equivalent to a TNT explosion with a power of 1,000 to 5,600 kilograms must be released. On January 3, 2024, the international scientific journal, The Seismic Record, published a report by English seismologists that clearly explains why the events of September 26, 2022 can be identified as a series of explosions and estimates their probable power. According to seismograph data recorded during the explosions, the characteristics of the seismic waves differ significantly from those typically observed during an earthquake. Compare the seismic wave patterns presented. On the left, you see the waveforms associated with an earthquake, and on the right, the waveforms recorded during the gas pipeline explosions. The difference is significant and irreplaceable. In the same report, scientists compared the power of the gas pipeline explosions to that of an underwater mine detonation that occurred on September 28, 2019 in the same region. This comparison was based on seismographic data and utilized a table of TNT equivalents in kilotons. The calculations of the explosions on the Nord Stream gas pipeline indicate an explosive equivalent of 300 to 500 kilograms for the first explosion at 02:03 a.m. and 750 to 1,300 kilograms for the second explosion at 19:03 later that same day. These figures are consistent with the comparison to an underwater mine explosion, which at a recorded magnitude of R2.18 had an explosive mass equivalent to 220 to 390 kilonewtons. Additionally, Danish researchers compared two cases of seismic activity related to the Nord Stream, using controlled explosions of 340 kilograms of TNT in Sierrabugten. These explosions were recorded at the Stenlilla seismic measurement station, located at a similar distance but with different geological conditions. The comparative analysis indicated that the explosive forces in both incidents were equivalent to 500 to 750 kilo TNT. Polish scientist Radoslaw Kaczynski from the Polish Naval Academy calculated the size of the crater that could be formed as a result of such an explosion. The diameter of such a crater would be approximately 3 meters, with about 20 cubic meters of bottom soil displaced. In summary, it is clear that the explosions that damaged the Nord Stream gas pipelines had an explosive force equivalent to several hundred kilograms of TNT. Successfully placing and detonating such a large amount of explosives in multiple locations would require specialized equipment, a large team of experienced deep-sea divers skilled in underwater demolition, numerous support vessels, and a significant amount of time to execute the operation. It is highly implausible that a small group of enthusiasts using forged passports and a 14-meter rented sailing yacht could have carried out such a highly complex task. Delivering several tons of explosives, precisely positioning them along the gas pipeline, perfectly synchronizing the detonations, and achieving results comparable to a military special operation is far beyond the capabilities of an amateur group. At the same time, I do not completely rule out the involvement of the yacht Andromeda in the operation to blow up the gas pipelines. We will consider its role and possible involvement later when I discuss potential scenarios for what happened. The previous analysis indicated that the explosions had a force equivalent to 500 to 750 kg of TNT. What methods could be capable of delivering explosives of this capacity to depths of 70 to 85 meters, at which detonation occurs? These could include depth charges dropped from a surface ship, delayed action explosives placed by divers, or explosives delivered by a submarine. Another possibility is that the explosives were delivered inside the pipeline using a special device or pipeline inspection robots, typically employed by pipeline service companies to inspect and clear debris. Unmanned underwater vehicles can also carry heavy loads underwater, but they are controlled by the military and used in special forces operations. Due to the marine environment, the pipeline doesn't generate significant physical fields, sound waves, or reflections during operation. Scanning the seabed to locate pipelines involves a complex system of devices. Here's an example of such a system. It includes several components, such as device positioning systems, sonar equipment, ultrasound processing units, a substation, and a data processing station. The scan results are displayed on the screen in front of you. As you can see, the quality of the seabed and silt requires careful processing of the scanned images. Even with advanced technology, there can still be errors in precisely locating the pipeline on the seabed. Using a basic sonar, or one installed on a yacht, makes it nearly impossible to achieve the necessary accuracy. Here's an image from a yacht sonar, commonly available on the market and typically used by sailors on their journeys. To assist with maintaining underwater pipelines during construction, special sensors are placed along key sections of the pipeline. These sensors allow for quick and accurate location of the pipes. Only the pipeline maintenance company has access to this sensor system. For security reasons, the data about their location and how they operate is classified. Let's break down the preliminary results. By analyzing seismic data from Denmark and Sweden and comparing it with the energy released during the explosions on the Nord Stream pipeline, it was determined that at least 500 to 750 kg of TNT was used as explosives. Such a large amount of explosives makes it highly unlikely that the attack was carried out by a small group of divers using a rented sailing yacht. We analyzed various methods of delivering such a significant amount of explosives to the seabed where the pipeline is located. Each method would require a carefully planned operation involving a team of military underwater explosion experts and specialized underwater equipment. One possible way is to blow up the pipeline from the inside using devices designed for inspecting and cleaning pipelines. Detecting underwater pipelines is also a very difficult task. It requires detailed planning and expensive specialized equipment to accurately determine the pipeline's location on the seabed, making it difficult to place explosives accurately. The only way to make this task easier is to install special sensors near the pipes during construction. However, access to this data is limited and classified. Based on all this information, it seems likely that the Nord Stream explosion resulted from a well-organized operation, probably carried out by special forces of an initially suspected country. These forces would have had detailed knowledge of the pipeline's location, depth, and anchorage. They would have carefully calculated the amount of explosives needed and determined the best methods for delivering and detonating them. The meticulousness and secrecy of this operation make the investigation difficult, and misleading theories, such as the involvement of passengers from the yacht Andromeda in the explosions, have only confused and distracted the investigation. That's all for today. If you're still with me, it is fantastic. Thanks for watching. Next, we have a fascinating analysis of the political and economic components of this terrorist attack. I'm waiting for you in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss new publications, and like this video so that as many viewers as possible watch it.